The man who fell way too far in the draft after being in the discussion for the first overall selection in the 2005 NFL Draft wound up exactly in the perfect landing spot, Green Bay. Even if his first few seasons in the leagues were a bit bumpier than expected, going all the way back to the Buck College to the University of California, Berkeley to the NFL from 2002 to 2005 is a quick transition, especially for a guy who was not given a ton of attention coming out of high school. Rodgers has a lot of interesting little tidbits that not a lot of people know about him. The story of the 05 draft follows him everywhere he goes, and it's like his little shadow. But these 5 things are not as commonly known about Rodgers, involving both his on-field and off-field careers. At number 5, we have choose between junior college and Division III scholarship offers out of high school. Carried farther by his football intellect than his physical stature, the high school version of Rodgers was facing difficulties of standing out from his peers. While he was a scrawny, short quarterback that had developed garnering any attention in football camps to try and progress to the next level, all Rodgers needed was a chance. He turned to baseball his senior year of high school in what was labeled as an attempt by his high school coaches to help get his mind off the lack of attention he was receiving in the hunt for his scholarship. When that did not happen for the Division I level, Rodgers did end up finding a solution, and one that was very close to him. What he did not realize was that his chance was super close, living one cul-de-sac away from his high school home. Craig Rigsby was the then head coach of the Buck Community College at the time, and after he reached out to the Rodgers family, discovered that all it would take to meet the AR face-to-face was a simple stroll through the subdivision. But while the walk was easy, getting through to a family and a player that was dead set on a D1 scholarship was much more difficult. Besides Butt, NAIA Southern Oregon and Division III Lewis and Clark College was interested in Aaron Rodgers, but he ended up going to the route of Butt, even though he was not promised a starting job, which is talked about next. At number 4, he became a college starting quarterback at the ripe age of 18. Rigsby was upfront with Rodgers about his ability to see the field. Even though AR was already looking past his school and had a desire to only remain there for one season, Rodgers' drive was what had made him such an interesting prospect in the first place, and it for sure helped his development once he got into the field for Butt. Facing off against a proven returning starter of multiple seasons, Rigsby went against the general consistency of his assistants and gave AR the starting job, even though he was only 18. Having finally come into his own physically, he was now 6'2", 200 pounds. Rodgers lit the league on fire. His quarterback competition quit a few weeks later, and he led Butt to the number 2 ranking in the National Junior College rankings with a 10-1 record. Setting new single-game marks for passing yards and touchdowns, AR threw for 28 scores against only 4 interceptions over 2,400 yards. His play made him jump off the tape, even though when coaches at the D1 level were not looking at him. At number 3, a tight end helped get Rodgers on the radar of UC Berkeley. Then University of California Berkeley head coach Jeff Tedford was looking at Butt tight end Garrett Cross that fall, who caught 10 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers in 2002, instead saw AR jump on the tape and got interested in him. Tedford was known as one of the better quarterback whisperers in the NCAA at the time, and just had Kyle Bowler leave and get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Continuing a solid line of college signal callers turned first round selections that he developed: Bowler, Trent Dilfer, Akil Smith, David Carr, Joey Harrington. He called Rigsby, established his interest, came and visited, and eventually extended an offer. While Aaron Rodgers accepted, he was actually very timid in his acceptance, concerning himself about how Butt was slated to bring back an excellent team the following year and was not sure if he wanted to leave that behind. Once Rigsby convinced him of the opportunity, AR left and the rest is history. At number 2, he almost became the 49ers quarterback, as well as Alex Smith. After becoming a superb passer under Tedford, Rodgers forewent his senior year after winning the starting job in his first year at Cal, and was fighting with Utah quarterback Alex Smith for the right to be the first quarterback selected. A neat little small world moment is that the offense coordinator at the time for the San Francisco 49ers, Mike McCarthy, later became his head coach in Green Bay and passed on him in the draft originally. When the 49ers selected AR, they sent off a flurry of dominoes after the first selection, which resulted in no other quarterbacks being picked in the first round. He had slid all the way down to the 24th for the Packers to select him, which NFL Network analyst Mike Mayock somehow predicted prior to the draft. The 49ers had devised a plan to stop the fall of Rodgers if he dropped that far. Holding the 3rd overall pick, which was the first pick of the 2nd round, SF then debating potentially drafting both guys and seeing which one panned out. Then head coach Mike Nolan is on record saying that they had a conversation about taking both, and that the reality may have actually happened if Green Bay did not take their quarterback of the future at 24. How many things would have been different nowadays if that had happened? Number 1, Aaron Rodgers has a passion for music and his own record label. Suspended Sunrise Recordings, an independent record label located in San Diego, California, was created by Rodgers and Ryan Zachary in 2009 and signed their first band, The Make, 2 years later. The Make is an indie pop rock group from Chico, California, and Rodgers even appeared in a music video for the group later in 2011 for the debut single, Get It. While the band has not made much noise on the music scene, it is still nice to see that Rodgers has a prevalent interest outside of football, and he also has a potential career interest to take up his time after his football playing days are over. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Athletic Avenue, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.